It's time now for Keller at Large. Here's John.
Thank you so much for joining us. Will Beacon Hill follow through on their tax cut promises? Mayor Wu is taking more political heat. And how will last week's Republican GOP primary debate affect New Hampshire voters? So let's talk about all of that, if we can fit it all in, with our guest, Lisa Kashinsky, the razor-sharp reporter for Politico and author of the must-read daily Massachusetts Playbook. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. So Governor Healy and Senate President Spilka were asked the other day what's up with the long-awaited but never consummated tax cut package. They said they, quote, hope to see something emerge from the closed-door House-Senate Conference Committee soon. First of all, what are you hearing about the status of this, and what are the stakes here for Maura Healy?
Well, I'm going to start with the second part of that first. The stakes for the governor are high. This is something that she pitched throughout her campaign, that she was going to provide tax relief and effectively carry on what Republican Governor Charlie Baker had pitched before he left office, and that died at the end of last session with the advent of Chapter 62F. So there's a lot riding on this for the governor, and there's a lot specifically in promises that she made to the business community, which are what we have to believe are the sticking points still at this point in these closed-door talks.
That would be the estate tax, which seems to have a fair amount of support, but then the capital gains tax cut to bring us in line with neighboring states. That's been very controversial in the legislature.
Yes, it has. We've seen a lot of resistance to that, and basically what they want to do is cut the short-term capital gains tax rate from 12% to 5%. The Senate, up through leadership of the Senate, has been pretty resistant to that. You know, members have not been for it. You have to imagine that it remains a sticking point in these closed-door talks where, of course, we don't know what's happening and won't until the deal is done. But it's interesting, too, that House Speaker Ron Mariano, actually to you on the show a few weeks back, had kind of left the door open to a package maybe without the capital gains cut, which the House had brought forward this year after originally not doing it last year, depending on what else might be in this deal. So maybe it's in play, maybe it's not.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of the story, but if there's no capital gains tax cut, or if there's a minimal or no tax cut package at all, does that show that it's the Senate and the legislature running the show and not the governor?
I think regardless of what happens, the governor gets to turn around to the business community and say, I put your interests forward. And there was a lot of concern coming in from the business community about what having a Democrat back in the corner office would mean. So Governor Healy gets to put forward, put her best foot forward on tax relief. If the House and Senate hold it up, that's their problem, not hers.
Well, speaking of putting your best foot forward, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has been, like her predecessor, bedeviled by the problem of homelessness in the streets, concentrated at the area of Mass and Cass. The situation has deteriorated over the summer. Violence breaking out. The latest thing is the mayor's now going to propose an ordinance that would ban tents altogether. How big a mess is this for Michelle Wu and her political standing?
It's certainly a mess, but it's been a mess for every mayor, really. Every mayor has faced their own set of challenges at Mass and Cass, and every mayor has struggled in how to deal with it. I mean, you see now that Mayor Michelle Wu is trying to really move forward with reopening services at Long Island and rebuilding that bridge. That is something that Marty Walsh had tried to do and wasn't able to get done. But, the mayor had come into office, Mayor Wu, with a big push to kind of clean up Mass and Cass, and we're seeing that hasn't worked.
Wow. It's a tough one. There's no question about it. All right, on that note, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about last week's Republican presidential debate and how it might have played in New Hampshire with our guest, Lisa Kashinsky of Politico. So please stay with us.